Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to yet another season of the Inimitable Podcast. If you are here, it's because you needed to be here. We, this season, are going to be talking about turning the page, the journey of exiting one season, entering into another one, because the story truly does continue. Semicolon, not a period. So let's find out what's on the other side of this pain, of the trauma, of being locked up, all of this thing. Stay tuned. We have a lot of great conversations that are coming up. So I hope that whatever is said, it resonates with you. Sit with this information, watch the replays, go back and watch other episodes because there's some good stuff that's being said. And I'm not just saying that because this is my podcast. I'm saying that because it is true. All right, guys, I will see you in a little bit. Bye. And a little bit you shall see, because we are here. We are live. Hello, everyone. We are, of course, running a little bit behind. However, again, the important thing is that we are here. So if you are here, feel free to share this lovely podcast with somebody, with your friends, your family, your foes, all the people. Because here we are. I hope everyone's doing well. All my New England folks, I hope y'all are all right. The false winters, we know it's a thing. We know it's a thing because it happens way too often. But I am so excited for this moment. I'm excited to see you guys here. I hope everyone, again, is doing well. Just giving some people some time to come on in the room. Because we're here for yet another podcast episode. This one, it's just little old me, but that's all right because we have a lot to talk about, a lot of things we are going to discuss. A lot of it has to do with growing because we're all growing and going through, and I wanted to make sure that I did my due diligence and make sure that we are understanding how to navigate these growing pains because it is something, it's something that we go through. So if you're here, say hello, be in the chats, guys, be in the chats, because if not, I'm just going to be talking to myself and to the screen, but yeah, we're here. Growing pains. If you've seen the logo for the event, for the live, the logo or the picture, I will say that's on the flyer. It is me embracing the younger me. So I found that picture of me, that child, that kid, that is the younger me. She is, I don't know, five or six in that picture. And the reason why you have a picture of adult me embracing younger me is, well, because, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Embracing your inner child, because to go from who we were to where we are, and hopefully to where we're going, it's painful sometimes. Growth is difficult. You know what I'm saying? There's some pains that comes with growing, learning, adjusting, adapting, all of the things. Hey, India girl, how you doing? How's the things going? But yeah, like I said, comment section, y'all. Invite everybody, lottie-dottie, and everybody, because we have some work to do. We have some things to talk about. So first and foremost, like I said, hey, Taylor girl, it's difficult. And here's why it is, right? I have learned this in active time, okay? Learning that as you're growing, your capacity is being stretched. And anyone that's been stretched understands the pains when your muscles don't want to do the things and your bones can no longer do the things. Stretching is not comfortable, especially when you've been tight, right? And a lot of us find ourselves in moments in our lives when it's like, okay, so I clearly outgrew this old thing, and now it's time for me to navigate into this new space, into this new way of thinking and feeling and living. Really, a lot of people struggle with this, and that's why they don't want therapy. They want coaching. They want to read self-help books and stuff like that. No shade to any of that, because it helps us to do our job, quite frankly. It coincides with therapy. But to completely remove therapy, it's like, so therapy is necessary because therapy helps you understand, how did this thing even develop? Right? I've been talking a lot. I'm not trained in or certified. I'll say that. I'm not certified in internal family systems, but my therapist uses it, and I have grown a liking to it, because essentially what it is it's learning how to listen to the parts of you, right? We all have the parts. We all yeah. Break it down to the molecules and the little atoms, because the parts of you, because we have those insecurities, aka the exile. So we have insecurities that really, when we're not careful, those things are running our lives. Okay. A lot of times they like to say that that's like your inner child that's unhealed. And so because your inner child isn't healed, we still try to find ways to heal that inner child. So like seeking validation, right? A lot of people need a lot of external validation, either because they were like emotionally neglected, or you raised in a generation, be seen, not heard, or just don't say anything at all, depending on the generation that you're in. And what that does is it silences the pain that you're feeling. And it's like, yeah, no, but we don't talk about that, especially in our communities. We don't talk about the pain. We don't talk about the curses. We don't talk about the stuff that's really burdening us, like that's really sitting heavy on our mental, right? And that's why growing hurts, because it forces you to sit in front of the mirror, and the mirror is reflecting back to you all the pains, all the things that you haven't addressed, all of the scary things that you tried to ignore for all of these years, all of the things that you really thought were gone. And it's like, oh, look, it's right there in front of me. I love this for me, and that's why it hurts. Yep. Emotions, emotions in action, or their feelings in action. What are those? Like those shoes. What are those? Emotions are tough. Now, I had this conversation with some of my clients, because usually what I talk to one client with it seems to become the theme of the week. And so feeling unsafe in emotions is something that I talked about all of last week and part of this week, right? Because for a lot of people, emotions aren't safe. Okay. And I don't know if you guys are aware, safety is your body's top priority. Finding balance, maintaining safety. That is all our body and our brains want to do. Okay. Hence why, if you're deathly scared of spiders, you're not going anywhere near spiders. If you're deathly scared of swimming, you're not even looking at the beach or the pool or nothing. You're like, I'm gonna stay right here. Why? Because your brain says that's not safe. Okay. Example. But emotions are oftentimes unsafe for people, either because we had people who are emotionally expressive and they explode on us and they say things that aren't so lovely. They do things that are really hurtful. They might lash out with words. They might lash out with actions, all because they feel an emotion. So we have internalized and said emotions aren't safe. And, that's an unfortunate place to be, because we feel. We have emotions, we feel things, we experience things, and then we carry it, and then it turns into emotions, and thoughts turn into emotions, and emotions create thoughts. It's all cyclical, right? And so for some people, being in your body is not safe because in your body is where you feel, right? Black women, unfortunately, are like some of the most people that disassociate because our bodies are often made to feel unsafe and we don't have time to sit and feel. That's what we are told. You ain't got time. Get up and go. Take care of the kids. Go to work. Take care of the husband. Do all the things. Check off all the boxes. Don't be present in your body. And it's like, yeah. So when y'all get that angry Black woman, this is why she exists, because she is told often her emotions, her pain, her frustrations don't matter. And I don't know about y'all. Don't tell me that my experiences and my feelings don't matter, because they are very much real. They are very much loud. They're there. Okay. So don't you dare try to tell me that what I'm feeling, don't feel that. You shouldn't feel it. Why shouldn't I? Did you go through what I went through? Are you living in my body? Are you processing the world the same way that I'm processing it? How are you telling me what to feel or what not to feel? You know, we have to do better, people. People experience what they experience for a reason. Okay. Yes. The wheel. For sure. It's unfortunate that we have a society, we have a culture, and even generations that will not talk about the reality of being human, right? Depending if you're a believer or not. Some believers are like, that's demonic and you shouldn't think that way. And God has redeemed you. And it's like, God has done a lot of things. Okay. One thing he hasn't done is taken me out of this body. And so like, I still feel things. Doesn't mean I'm not redeemed from it. Doesn't mean I'm not saved from it. Doesn't mean I'm not healed from it. But triggers are just that. It's like, right? You feel it. It pokes at something. How you respond to it, that's a different story. But you're still going to feel something. And so to try to water down someone's experience to say, oh, it's just that, and all you gotta do is pray. And it's like, yes, praying we do. Praying is why I'm still here in my sanity and in my right mind. So we thank God for prayer. But we also have to continuously work on this here flesh, this here body, this here mind, the emotions. Yeah, say everything is not. Absolutely not. And again, this is why it hurts. Okay. It hurts because, and I said this to my friend the other day, I'm like, what hurts is that I have the faith to believe that every pain that I'm feeling right now, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain, I know for facts that this is going to bring me to that expected end that the Bible talks about. I have the faith to believe that this isn't it. I believe with every ounce of my body. I truly believe that there is way more better than worse that is ahead of me and that I believe that. Also, I haven't cried as many times in my life as I am currently. I haven't lost so many things. I have felt so depleted, so lost, so confused, so achy, like heartache and body aches and stress aches and head aches, like everything hurts, right? Even while I still believe. Okay. And this is the part about life that people don't want to talk about, is that both can be true at the same time. You can have dual truths operating, living, abiding, if you will, at the same time. I have faith. As small as a mustard seed, as big as a mountain, whichever way you want to go with it, right? I know there's more. I know I am being developed. I am being shaped. I am being created for. I am being stretched in this moment because my capacity needs to be enlarged, because the amount of blessings that I'm about to get, I have to make room. Making room means the stretching. Making room means the cleansing, like not having the amount of friends that I've had before. It all really turns into, well, now there's room for the right ones to come, for the good ones to come, for the like-minded ones to come. Again, conceptually, spiritually, intellectually, I get it. Does my body always and does my heart always agree with what I know and understand? Absolutely not. They say there's 12 inches between your mind and your heart. There is so much confusion and pain that can exist within those 12 inches that you're just like, I can't do this. My mind and my heart do not agree. My spirit is what's anchoring me. My soul is what's anchoring me in this stormy thing we call life, because we're all in a storm. Either we are entering into one, we are currently in one, or we just came out of one. Either way, the storm is still involved. Yeah. So it's hard to ignore the heart, right? It's hard to ignore, this is my experience right now. And in therapy, yes, I'm a believer. And we have a person in the church, and she used to say, listen, if you open the door, I'm walking in. Okay. And I took that from her, and listen, let my client say something about Jesus. You done open the door, babe. You open the door and I'm walking in. But like when I'm counseling, again, both as therapist and as believer, right? Because I am both. And I operate from both when I'm doing what I do. I tell them, yes, God's going to carry you through this. He's going to walk you through this. He's going to strengthen you through this. Whatever it is that you need to be able to become the person that you want to become and to operate in the ways that you're supposed to, he's going to help you do it. Also, there's a ton of work that you have to do between that. Okay. I literally just said to my last client, right? We are finding ourselves, and a lot of people are doing this. The more conversations I'm having with people, the more I'm realizing we are being called out. Okay. Out of bondage, out of familiarity, out of comfort zones, out of things that no longer serve us, out of situations and relationships and environments. We're being called out. Whether you are a believer or not, we are being called out, because now is not the time to be comfortable. It's not. Okay. Work it out indeed. Like Rihanna said, like evangelist Rihanna said, work. We gotta do it all. And when you are called out of something, that is probably the most fearful thing that you can say to somebody is, it's time to go. We can't stay here no more. It's scary because some people's identity is attached to where they were. Who am I if I'm not this? Who am I if I don't do that? Who am I if all of these things that I held so dear to and found so much value in, if I don't have those things, if I'm not around those things, who am I? That is one of the scariest questions that a person can ask themselves. And especially when you get a little bit older, they're like, I'm not starting over. I'm 39. I'm 42. I'm 56. Start over now? My life is halfway over, or, I have more days behind us than I do in front of me. That kind of stuff, right? And it's like, yeah, I get it. Trust me. Okay. I have struggled with this new thing that the Lord's doing, because again, I like safety. I like my comfort zone. My comfort zone is safe. I had a nice little government set up. I had my own currency. I had my own zip code. It was great times. You hear me? In that comfort zone. And here's the kicker, right? I don't even think my before was that bad. I was like, I'm cool. I ain't doing nothing crazy. I'm good here. I'm not hurting nobody. So I thought, I'm not causing any pain or causing any frustration to somebody. So I thought, and I'm like, this is cool. Why do I have to leave here? And it's like, well, you keep asking for more. You keep asking for better. You have dreams, you have visions, you have goals. You can't achieve those being where you were. In India, yes, ma'am. Identity crisis for sure. Okay. I told my therapist on Tuesday, she was like, so what's your emotional landscape? I think is the question that she asked. I said, you know how in like Doctor Strange, when like he went into like the different multiverses, and then each multiverse had a different version of his life. Yeah. So in my multiverse, I don't know any version of what's happening. I can't, I don't even know who these people are because I never been here before. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what I'm looking at. This is the multiverse that I'm in. I feel like I'm in a mirage. I feel like someone picked me up and dropped me in the middle of the desert and was like, you're prepared. You can figure this out. And it's like, your eye does that little twitchy twitch. It's like, I don't know what this is. Okay. Now, I heard, I think Ayanla had said this to somebody. I think it was Lisa Ray McCoy. She said, victories aren't won on the mountain, they're won in the valley, or something like that. And I was like, you know what, Ayanla? You might be right, Miss Ma'am. You might be right. Because it's in these valley moments, in these dark times, in these we're buried under the soil because we're about to grow, in these tight, confined spaces like a cocoon where we're evolving. It's in these moments where it's like, this is when real transformation happens, because you can't go anywhere else. You can't turn to anybody else. You can't escape. Like in COVID, I had clients that were losing their ever-loving mind because everything that they used to escape, to run, to avoid people and thoughts and memories and feelings, everything that they once had, they can't go back to, right? So they literally was like, Jermai, all of my coping skills are gone. I said, no, they're not. They're there. It's just got to look a little bit different. I told my client right before this episode, I was like, in these hallways, valley moments, in these dark times, in these in-betweens, this is where you have to get the most innovative. And that, again, is a part of the growing pains, because it's like, I'm hurting and you want me to try to pop out some creative way of thinking and moving and believing. When it's dark, you want me to pretend like it's light. When I feel heavy, you want me to pretend like I feel great. When it's cloudy and stormy, you want me to pretend like it's all sunshine and rainbows. And it's like, who said you have to pretend with anything? I am a firm believer that you own how you feel. Be honest. Shoot, God knows anyway. Be honest with yourself. Honor yourself and say, my capacity doesn't exist right here. Okay. I am burnt out. I am exhausted. I got people constantly asking me for things, but when I need something, no one all of a sudden has money, or no one all of a sudden has time, or all of these people that I once helped to get rooted and grounded, and I supported them, and I drove the miles, and I poured in the money, and I did all of the things. Where are they at now? Like, to come to these realizations that everything that you found value and meaning in, it is life shattering. And again, the pain, okay, it is life shattering when you're like, so where y'all at now, right? When you needed me, y'all knew how to find me. When there was moments where I was beneficial to you, you knew where to find me. You knew how to get my attention, right? But now that everything's fine in your world, it's like, oh yeah, that's her. Let me shoot her a text here and there. And it's like, it hurts when you're forgotten. It hurts when you feel rejected. It hurts when you feel like there's nothing that you can do to kind of make this situation get a little bit better, you know. Hey, Papa. The growing pains of realizing, like, again, this old thing that I was in, it wasn't that bad. Like, you realize, like, even when it's hard when you have to leave a good thing. Yeah. It's hard when you have to um find new identity, new purpose, new meaning, when you have to look inward and figure out, like, all right, where's my integrity at? Do I have integrity? Like, what uh do I have the strength to do this? Oftentimes when you're growing and you're learning, when you're growing and you're learning, you're just like, I don't have the capacity for this. I don't know how to do this. This is hard. I don't think I went through this class. Like, they say sometimes life is the hardest teacher because sometimes it gives you the test first, the lesson second. But there are times when I got the lesson first and I still failed the test. I'm like, dang it. Like, why can't I get this? Why can't I get this? And people are always telling me, like, Jermai, you got to let things happen organically. Let things run its course. Stop trying to rush stuff. And I'm like, I hear you. And I'm sure there is a rhyme or reason as to why you're saying that. But yeah, I don't feel like, in my head, right? I'm like, I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to waste. I don't have time to sit here and go through the same test for the 7th time. Like, time's a ticking. I need to conquer this thing, right? And one thing about growth, and I'm not a mother yet, well, not a biological mother yet, but I've been around some pregnant folks, okay? And I've heard some things. You can't rush a baby because in those 9 months are critical to the physical, mental, physiological upbringing and development of the child, right? Every organ, every bone, every neuron, every lobe in the head, every nerve and everything is being created in those 9 months. That's why if you're premature, even by a few weeks, something could happen developmentally for that child. And even when you are creating and cooking the baby, right? When she or he is in the mother's womb, the mother has a lot of work she has to do, right? Because everything that is coming into her is funneling to the child, right? And then you get to a point where you have to prepare for what's about to come out. Like, there's a saying that says, no good mother is going to wait until the day before she gives birth to prepare for the nursery and the diapers and the clothes and all of the things, right? You have 9 months to prepare. You know this baby is coming. And for some mothers, you might not have 9. You might have less. So you don't wait until the 9th hour, if you will, or the 10th hour, the 11th hour to prepare, right? And it's a good thing that you don't, because the pain gets worse towards the end, right? I said it in the promo video for this, of like, I've never been a runner. Cardio wasn't my thing. I was an athlete though. I did my thing on the court. You hear me? Basketball, volleyball, and then I did track, the field part, not the track part. But the runners would say, right? The long distance runners would say, it's that last 200 meters that takes the most out of you. Because when you start, and my papa, he know this. When you start, you find a pace that's good for you, right? And when you're starting to grow and heal, you're finding a pace that works for you, right? And then even with that pace, something kicks in where it's like, whew, all right, I got my second win. I feel good. This is all right. Everything's moving. And yeah, I'm a little bit sore. And yeah, I'm a little bit tired. And I'm breathing a little bit harder. But yeah, the runner's high. So I've heard it's a thing. I believe it. I believe it. But then you reach a point where you're like, whew, the longer I go, the harder this race is, and the heavier my legs feel, and the harder it is to catch a good breath. And when you are hitting that last 200, right, you're going around that corner, you're like, come on, you're almost there, you're almost at the last 100. Once you start to hit that last 100 meters, I heard, because I don't know, this is facts, I heard it is hard, and sometimes it is the hardest, because you can literally see the finish line. You can see it. But everything on you, your body, your lungs, your legs, your ankles is like, I can't make it. And so you push and you push and you push, and then you get to the finish line, right? And that's beautiful. Right? It's amazing when you can get to that point. But the pain that it took for you to get to that finish line, it says something, right? In this life, we are constantly trying to find a pace. Yeah. We're trying to find, like, okay, I know I will be in this for a while. I know I have to endure this thing. I know things are changing. I know life is moving. I know things in me are shifting. Okay, I got to find a pace. But then when you finally get towards the end of a thing, it's like, this is the hardest time. This is when pain, it amps up, right? And, my friend said yesterday, he said, it's in this moment when the pain is getting the worst. I was like, yeah, but that's how you know you're about to finish a thing. Same thing with labor, right? We were talking about labor. Those contractions are literally your body's way of expanding itself, right? It is making sure that your body is ready to push. And I hope, my mom used to say, like, you got those baby making hips. And I'm like, cool, because I need my child, when I give birth, to just like walk on out, because I'm, WTMI. Anyway, the contractions are forcing the cervix to get bigger so that the baby, can come out. And in those pains, I heard it is absolutely unbearable. It is equivalent to, like, I don't remember how many bones they said, but they said it's the equivalent to breaking multiple bones at the same time. And I said, well, then your back, your lower parts, all of the things are hurting. That's why most women try to get that epidural, because it's like, I ain't trying to feel nothing from my waist down, if you ask me. But the pains are creating expansion, right? And one thing I've learned to do, mainly from my pastor, right? He will find a message out of anything, okay? We was walking in the frozen meat section one day in Shaw's, and he got a whole sermon from frozen chicken. How he did it, I don't know. But since then, I've learned how to kind of adapt it myself. But you learn from nature, you learn from life, like, okay, there's a lesson in this. I can learn how to endure the pain because I'm expecting something. You know what I'm saying? They say that mothers never forget their labor pains because it was that painful. And I believe that we have to remember the pain that it took to get to our new place, to get to our next level, to get to our expansion. I believe we get to those points because we have to remember, like, it took me a lot to get here. I will not turn back. I will not walk back. I refuse to go back to where I was because I've endured some things. I went through some things to make sure that I got here. I had to fight, crawl, kick, scream, whatever. I had to do all of that to get here. I do not want to return back because then what was that all for? What did I endure all of the pain for? Right? The logo, not the logo, the image on the flyer that I just put out for this episode. It's me, older me, embracing my younger me. AI, of course, it configured it how it needed to, but everything I'm doing is to make sure that that little girl is proud of us, right? Because she's still here. Okay. Um, and all the dreams that she had, all of the wishes that she made, all the times she was sitting on that my apartment in Framingham. I lived in Framingham, I believe, the first 7 years of my life, give or take. Um, my bedroom had like a shaggy blue rug, like the carpet. It was as if Cookie Monster was laid out and he was my rug, right? And I just remember the younger me just picking at that blue rug carpet or whatever, just picking at it and just being like, one day I hope to not be alone or to make a difference, or one day I wonder what else is out there. I wonder, right? And a part of this growth and this evolution and this becoming that is my life right now, I want to make sure that that younger me, she's proud, that she's like, wow, we did it, guys. Like, we made it. We went through the things, we cried the tears, we lost the friends, we lost the hair, we we lost some things, but we gained so much more. And clients ask me, my mentees ask me all the time, like, how do you do it? Because you make it look easy. I said, let me tell y'all something. If only you knew the amount of mental work that I had to do to just navigate these spaces, because it hurts. Okay. I am honest with my clients. I am honest with my mentees. Success comes with a cost. It comes with the sacrifice. Being great, it comes with the sacrifice. Becoming, it comes with the sacrifices. Like, I am, Lord willing, gonna have my doctorate in 2027, right? And a lot of people ask me, how are you doing it? How are you going to school and running a business and still trying to minister and still mentoring and counseling and all of these things, right? How are you doing it, Jermaine? I'm like, half the time I don't even know. Like, I'm keeping it real. Like, sometimes I don't know. I sacrifice a lot. I go without a lot. I cry a lot. You just find it. You find the vision, you find the dream, and you just keep rolling with that, because this isn't easy. Life isn't easy. But when you're trying to do something that you were called to do in a time like this, when the world is, I don't even know what's happening. Do y'all know gas is about $3.50 something? Like, for regular gas? And I went to the store and I got those they have these salad mixes where, like, everything you need for the salad, they put it in one lovely bag, right? When I say, I was like, where's the rest of the salad kit? this all it is for $5. There's like this much lettuce and things. And it's just like, we're spending more money for less. And that's horrible. And, racial tension is high, and the cost of living is high. And there's a lot of things that just aren't going right. There's a lot of systems and mindsets and ideologies that we are up against. Everything is hard. It feels like it's whether you're trying to be great or you're just trying to live, you're just trying to survive. Okay. I think next week we're going to be talking about divorcing survival mode, because that was supposed to be a training. It might still be a training, but I think we need to talk about divorcing survival mode, because we have to come out of survival mode. We have to, as a people, we have to come out of survival mode, find the strategy, find the pace, find the space, and let's get to work. Because survival mode is what keeps us in these unhealthy, toxic, broken cycles when it's not working and we know it's not working, but it's like, I don't have time to adjust. I don't have time to analyze, because I have to make it. I have to make it to tomorrow. I have to make it to the next thing. It's like, okay, sure. I believe that life right here, it's requiring more from us, from all of us. Again, this is why we're in pain. This is why we're going through what we're going through, because you cannot get to better, to more, without being stretched. Again, your capacity is being stretched, your understanding, your imagination, your will, it is being stretched. You need to get to a point where the things that used to easily trip you up, it takes it a while now. The things and the people and the comments that used to tear you down and make you feel so bad about yourself literally start to roll off, because you do not have time to struggle and suffer in the ways that you do. Now is the time to step out. And again, I told my client this right before I got onto this live, is it takes a very courageous person to walk out of what was. And she's like, and why is that? I said, do you know what you're leaving behind? The people, the mindsets, the comfort, the identity, the security, the safety. You are literally leaving all of those things behind. No one in their right mind says, I'm leaving security and people and fun and freedom and yada, yada, yada. I'm leaving all of that behind just to get curious and just to see what else is out there. No one in their right mind is saying that, but that's the courage it takes to be great. That's the courage it takes to evolve and elevate and become someone better, right? It's not about age, and sometimes it's really not even about skill set, right? You can develop skills at any point in your life, no matter what age you are, right? Your hands, if they're still moving, you can do things. Your mind, it's still working. You can do something. It doesn't stop just because you're 72 or 51 or 39 or 26, because apparently that's old to some people. You know, I work with teenagers. But it doesn't, if your mind is still moving, and this is what I say all the time, if God still sits on the throne, if your mind is still operating and your heart is still beating and your lungs are still working, you have time. There's always something you can do, because you're not done. If you were done, God would have taken that soul out of that body of yours and you'd be up there with him. You're here, which means you have stuff to do. You have work to do. You still matter, right? Your work of your hands, the work of your mind, it still matters. Okay, maybe you can't physically do the things that you want to do. Maybe your mind, your ideas, your wisdom is used to help other people, right? Generational wealth is not just about property, assets, liquidations, money. It's not just about that. What legacy am I passing down that allows the generations to follow to build from, right? If I don't have a foundation, what am I building on? I can build a wall all I want to. It's not going to stand. It's going to fall flat because there's no foundation on it. I can have the vision, the resources for a building. I need the foundation first. Generations before me need to build that generation. I think I have one of the most amazing mothers in the world. Okay. Sister Harrison is dope. You know, she don't like answering her phone sometimes, and she likes sleeping and doing all this other stuff and ignoring me. But she's the greatest mom in the world. And yes, I still need my mama at 30. How old am I? 6? Yep, 36. Because there was this meme that said, like, I'm an adult, but my mom is like an adult pro, or like a pro adult or whatever. And yeah, because taxes and W-9s and all this other stuff, I'm like, no, miss me with all that. Mom, hello, you know. But I thank God for my mom because she laid foundation. I say this all the time. I'm the product of a village to raise me. My aunts, my uncles, godmothers, the church, they all raised Jermai. Okay, so when, and I say this sometimes, like, to the people that played a part, right, in raising me, when you see me, you see a little bit of you because you guys are a part of my foundation, right? Everything that I'm building, everything that I'm working on, I can do that because I had amazing people and some not so amazing, I'm gonna be honest. But you know, you learn from the good and you learn from the bad. You learn what to do from the good, you learn what not to do from the bad. So, you know, in this foundation, that's a part of generational wealth. Giving them the mindset of, and the words and terminology, the verbiage, the systems to succeed, that is also a part of generational wealth. That is a part of generational healing as well. I have taken on the title of an intergenerational healing advocate and clinician, right? Because we know that there's intergenerational trauma. We know that there's intergenerational pain, curses, addictions, all those things, right? I want to make sure that we are building legacy as a community, as a people. We are building legacy that isn't, again, just in tangible things. It is also in the mind. My mom created that legacy because she said, Jermai, as far as you can go educationally, go, because they can take a lot of things from you. They cannot take this. Fortify this. And so however many kids that the Lord allows me to have, or mentees or influence, or whatever it is, I'm going to carry that legacy on and say, fortify this, strengthen this, anchor with your soul. Those 3 things. If you can find a system that incorporates those 3 things, you're going to be all right, right? This is legacy. This is growing pains. This, again, is why in that photo, you see older me embracing younger me, because we made it. We still making it. We are still fighting and growing and learning, and God, we're healing. We're healing a lot of things. You know, I had text one of my mentors, and I had said, you know, thank you for modeling integrity and softness and all these things before me. And she said that she's proud of me, and I was like, me? What I do? In the most humblest of ways, because I'm like, I don't feel like like I'm making anybody proud. I feel like I'm going nuts 90% of the time. And she's like, oh no, whatever you're feeling on the inside, it's not showing on the outside. I said, well, we praise God for that, because I feel messy a lot of the times. I'm trying. You know, I apologize to my best friend often because, well, outside of him, my mama and my aunt, I don't talk to nobody. Nobody talk to me. So you know, I apologize to him all the time, and you know, I apologize to my mom too, because I just feel like I'm constantly taking things out on them, and I'm constantly just like breaking and falling apart, and I be feeling like a hot mess. Okay. And they're like, can you stop apologizing like you're fine, like you're doing great? I was like, I don't feel it. I feel broken and lost and confused and like, you know, yeah, get you a mentor. We need it. We need it. Honestly, again, it took a village to raise me, so I was fortunate enough to my circle don't even exist. I have a dot. It's like a I got like a spiritual circle. You know what I'm saying? And colleagues, I got those, and I got the circle. I got angels in heaven warring for me. Hallelujah. But yeah, no. Down here on earth, I feel like I got a dot. But yeah. Anyway, it is mentors. Mentors are there. I think it's really about connecting with. You got to know where you're trying to go. That's where you start. If you know where you're trying to go, you know who to connect yourself with, right? When you go to these networking meetings, and when you go to these events, you know, and you're talking with someone and someone's making sense, and it's like, oh, you're going where I want to go. Great. Let's have a conversation, right? Yeah, I have, or had, at one point, I had like 5 mentors. I had 2 ministerial mentors. I had a professional mentor. I had an I call him my emotional mentor because, listen here, when I say Jermai be cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, sometimes I be needing help to regulate. But angels, yes, ma'am, we got them because, you know, yeah. Well, events, ma'am. You go to events, you know. I don't know, or you can go the typical way, which is pray like, Lord, I don't know where to find them. Lord, send them to me, please. Maybe they're an old teacher, an old colleague or something. I just realized that anyone can be your teacher, right? Any and anything. Like I take lessons from my dog because I'm learning my personal characteristics from my dog. Because I'm like, oh, okay, so she's clingy and needy and real stubborn and stuff. I was like, oh wow, look, that's me too. Well, look at that. And I've only had her for a year, and she's already showing me, girl, I don't mingle neither. Maybe that's why I got a dot left, because my capacity for people just don't really be in existence. But yeah, pray about it. My mentee, she found me on Instagram. She prayed and she's like, Lord, I need a mentor that understands vision, but then also understands, you know, purpose and God and faith and stuff like that. She found me on Instagram. I posted something. She found me. She messaged me. And we've been rocking together for, I think, 9 months. So you can find it. You pray about it. The Lord will guide you there, to be honest. But yeah, get you some mentors. It's necessary. Anywho, growing pains. We have reached the end, or towards the end of this here episode. I hope that something was said that really reached you and it touched you and it gave you inspiration. It gave you hope. It gave you understanding, hopefully, and to let you know you're not crazy. You're growing. You're not broken. You're actually healing. You know, there's a lot of things that happen in our lives where we just feel like this can't be it because this sucks. And it's like, yes, healing, growing, increasing your capacity, letting go and shedding yourself of the old things. Like I said, there's lessons in everything. I watched this video where this reindeer was like bashing its head against a log, right? And the caption was saying the only way for those antlers to come off of that reindeer is he has to bash his head and like literally knock those things off. You can see the agony in the reindeer. You can see the blood. You can see the pain. But this is the only way for those antlers to come off because the antlers are heavy. They weigh him down. He can't if they keep growing, they're just going to keep weighing his head down. And so he's the reindeer just back and back and back, hitting its head, hitting its head, hitting its head, right? If you don't like that analogy, there's the snake. The snake has to shed its skin so that it can get another one, right? It wedges itself between two very hard surfaces, usually like a boulder and another rock. And what it does is it slithers itself slowly, obviously not to like yank the shedding off, but slowly it starts to wiggle itself, and those two surfaces are pulling back the old layer so that the new layer can come, basically letting you know growth is going to hurt. Growth is going to be uncomfortable. Growth is going to cause a lot of pain. However, and also, when we get to the other side of that, you are going to be so grateful that you endured the pain. And that's my hope. That's what I'm holding on to. That is the vision that is keeping me up every single day. Prayer, yes. And God's hand, yes. Those angels I talked about warring in heaven for me, on account of little old me. Yeah. I'm keeping that in mind. Like Olaf said, this will all make sense one day. It'll all make sense one day. I will get to where I need to go. And I had this moment in my kitchen where I was boo-hoo crying. My dog was looking at me like, there she go again, crying again. And I said, Lord, I'm believing. And I was crying happy tears. But I was saying, I'm believing that one day I'm going to look back at this moment and remember the tears, remember the doubts, remember the pains, remember the agony, remember the heartbreak, remember the feelings of abandonment and the feelings of neglect. I'm going to remember this and I'm going to smile, because everything that I have right now, it was worth all of the stuff that I'm going through right now. I mean, like, obviously, I would prefer to like kind of avoid this. I really wish I could. But, you know, you understand, they say it's character building. I hate that phrase now. I understand it and I respect it. Hate it though. Like, can we find another way to build this character? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of feeling exhausted. I'm tired of losing sleep. I'm tired of stomach pains, back pains, head aches. Like, I'm tired of feeling disconnected from everything. I'm tired of going through all the things. However, I am willing to endure the pain because I know that on the other end of this, I'm going to be smiling and being joyful and loving life. And it's like, cool, as long as I get there. Hoping, praying, wishing, believing on 1,000 stars that I get there so I can look back and say, it was all worth it. So there we are. Another episode down. Next week, who knows? It might be me again. I might have a guest with me. I don't know. But if you're curious, you should come back. So please don't log off. As I say, after every episode, thank you for coming. Share this with your friends, your family, your foes, whoever you knows. Bars, no son. Share this with them. Follow the pod. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know how to find me. There's announcements coming up. I do have, in case you haven't been on any of my socials, I do have an event coming out May 30th. Please RSVP as soon as you can. The first 15 people get 25% off. So May 30th, 2026, Peabody, Mass. You do not want to miss it. This is my first event. So if you love me, if you want to support me, come in the room. But you got to RSVP. That information is coming. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next week. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope something that was said truly resonates with you. And if it does, please feel free to share it. Maybe there's some other episodes that you haven't seen and I have a ton of them. And so you can go back and watch them. I make this video at the end of every episode because there's some announcements that are coming up, announcements that are mine and maybe other people's, because I'm all about healing and wellness for the community. All right, because I am an intergenerational healing clinician and advocate. So stay tuned. If you need me, you know where to find me, guys. All right, bye.